Support WrestleTalk!
It's finally happening. After 2 years, we're getting Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship on pay-per-view at Full Gear 2021. The man who lacks confidence versus the man who probably has too much of it. It's sure to be an absolute classic show for the history books. But what's actually going to happen come November 13th? Now, that's much less of a certainty. So while Adam is away, being a dick and rubbing it in our faces, I'm Luke going for WrestleTalk, and here's everything you need to know heading into Full Gear 2021. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and like the video while you're here for daily wrestling news. You want Hangman to win the title? Well, I heard the only way he can is by giving us subscribers. Don't question the logic, I don't make the rules, Pete does. Number 1, Hangman Page will win the AEW World Championship. Won't he? Let's kick this off with a thing that most people probably want to happen. After one of the best, well-told long-term stories in modern-day wrestling, people have been chomping at the bit to see Hangman Page crowned as the AEW World Champion almost a year after Kenny Omega won the belt at Winter is Coming and Dynamite last year. Many thought Page would begin that reign at All Out in September, but it seems that was pushed back a couple of months due to his wife giving birth to their first child. You know what? That's fair, I guess. But after such a long story, it's got to be a lock that Hangman is winning, right? The fans have been calling for this title win since the story began. You've got to pull the trigger at some point, which has to be now, right? But what if Kenny wins? Number 2, Jon Moxley entered rehab. Jon Moxley has been a staple of AEW since its inception, holding the top title for 277 days and continuing to be a top star for the promotion. Earlier this week, however, shortly before his scheduled match with Orange Cassidy in the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament on Dynamite, Tony Khan revealed on Twitter that Moxley had admitted himself into an alcohol treatment program and would be off AEW screens indefinitely. Moxley was replacing the tournament by Miro. We absolutely wish the best for Mox and hope to see him back in the ring once he's ready. You've got this, man. Number 3, Eddie Kingston turning heel. Something that was very interesting, however, was Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio this week indicating that prior to his rehab admission, Moxley was reportedly set to undergo a personality change. Whether that means a heel turn or something else is yet to be determined. Something that makes this even more interesting, however, is that the seeds of a dual personality change with Mox and his tag team partner Eddie Kingston has already been seeded on TV, with Kingston flipping out at CM Punk following his loss to Bryan Danielson, cussing backstage during Punk's interview segment, where we scheduled to get a Kingston-Moxley heel duo. I'll be honest, sounds pretty good to me. With all that said, we probably are still going to get a heel Kingston once again, though with his first target being CM Punk, as the two are likely facing each other at Full Gear. Number 4, whoopsie, Tony Khan leaked the whole card. Oops. It seemed that in an effort to not have the results leaked or spoiled, Tony Khan often writes down his potential cards and feuds on notepads, like a dork. That makes sense in the digital age with hackers and the like, but where it falls down is when Khan is photographed holding that notepad and all the matches are on it with the winners circled. Come on, Tony, mate, you even had it facing outwards. Potential spoilers ahead, so do skip to number 5 if you don't want to hear what's going on in the notepad a few weeks ago. Bearing in mind that a couple of things have changed since then. Last warning, okay, here we go. So maybe Hangman is winning, as the match against Omega was on the notepad with Hangman circled. Maybe. Some other notable matches were Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley, seemingly the finals of the Eliminator Tournament, which has now been changed to Miro versus Danielson after Moxley was admitted into the rehab program. CM Punk versus Wardlow, which seems to have been changed to Punk versus Kingston. Inner Circle versus American Top Team. MJF versus Darby Allin. Lucha Bros versus FTR, which have all been confirmed. Christian Cage versus Adam Cole. Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill. Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Britt Baker versus Blank, which has now been confirmed to be Ty Conti. Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black or Andrade or Miro, who's now been slotted into the Danielson match. So how much of that leaked card will come to fruition? Honestly, a fair amount of it so far. The Young Bucks have been feuding with Jurassic Express, which means that Christian Cage has been feuding with Adam Cole. Thunder Rosa has got unfinished business with Jade Cargill. I guess we'll have to wait until next week until the final card comes out, but yeah, a lot of this seems likely. Number 5, the Forbidden Door has been shut. For now. Do you remember all that time ago, last December, on the Winter is Coming episode of Dynamite, where all of the things happened? Not only did Sting debut for AEW, Kenny Omega won the world title, and the Forbidden Door was thrown open as Don Callis aligned with Kenny and told everyone to check out Impact Wrestling the following Tuesday to see what happened next. Excitement was in the air as, oh my god, non-WWE promotions are all going to start working together. And in fairness, we have seen the likes of Kenta, Minoru Suzuki come across from New Japan. Yes, please, more of that. But despite Kenny Omega winning the Impact World title, fighting Rich Swann, Gallows and Anderson winning the Impact titles and showing up on AEW with them, really, the huge forbidden door finally opening with Impact didn't amount to much in the grand scheme of things. It's therefore unsurprising really that according to Tony Khan on Wrestling Observer Live, there are no plans in the immediate future for AEW to work with Impact, but they are open to doing business with them again in the future. At Bound for Glory, Christian Cage dropped the Impact World title to Josh Alexander, who then immediately lost it to Moose, so don't expect any big names to be around for Full Gear. Number 6, Lance Archer is injured. Someone else who probably won't be around for Full Gear is Lance Archer, who suffered a nasty injury following a botch on Dynamite on the October 23rd episode. Instead of hitting a moonsault, Archer landed right on top of his head, and after the referees checked on him, the match continued and Kingston got a victory roll-up. According to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Archer suffered a jammed neck. I'm not sure what a jammed neck is. This is an awkward joke here. Jam that jammed neck? Don't like that one, Pete. There isn't an immediate timetable for this return right now. Hopefully we'll see him back soon and killing everyone once again. Speedy recovery, Lance. Number 7, Tony Khan having a match. What? Now, here's a match that wasn't on Tony Khan's leaked notepad because it features him. Will we get to see Tony Khan wrestle at Full Gear? Probably not, but fun to speculate, isn't it? Old little naughty boy Max Caster regularly takes shot at Tony Khan during his raps, and there's every chance that this could build somewhere, as Caster is now actually calling out Tony Khan for a match at Full Gear. Maybe we'll see this play out on TV, probably not. Maybe it could lead to a Full Gear pre-show moment where Tony Khan selects a tag team to face the Acclaimed in his place. Probably not, but hey, wouldn't it be nice? Number 8, Junior Dos Santos AEW Future. Inner Circle will be facing American Top Team and Men of the Year at Full Gear in a 10-man street fight. And it was revealed on Dynamite this week that the competitors for American Top Team will be Junior Dos Santos, Andrei Arlovsky, I have no idea if I'm saying his name right, and the main man himself, Dan Lambert. It's going to be so much fun watching a fat-faced dipshit get beaten up. Interestingly though, it's Junior Dos Santos that's drawing more attention from people backstage in AEW. Ahead of his match teaming with Men of the Year against Jericho, Hager, and Guevara on Rampage a couple of weeks ago, according to Figure 4 Online, Chris Jericho has been saying that Dos Santos is a natural in the ring and only required an hour's worth of training ahead of the match. If Dos Santos is to continue on his path and fully transition into wrestling, Full Gear would be a great place to showcase some of his talent and set him up for a bright future in the company. Number 9, Bray Wyatt to AEW? Maybe. I mean, maybe, right? It's been heavily speculated that the former Bray Wyatt, now going by his real name Wyndham Rotunda, will end up in AEW following his WWE release back in July. His 90 days are now up, and we know that he won't be joining any of the indie shows, as GCW have stated that Wyndham's plans don't fit in with theirs, which essentially translates to Wyatt wants to work with bigger companies, which only leaves AEW, right? It's the only company that would realistically fit with Wyatt's style, so maybe he'll debut at Full Gear, maybe there'll be a tease. It's a good time as any to bring him in, maybe now's the time. And lastly, number 10, FTR's AAA ventures. FTR are the current AAA Tag Team Champions, and they'll be facing the Lucha Bros for the AEW World Tag Titles at Full Gear. But the AAA Tag Titles aren't just props in this feud, and FTR are heading down to Mexico for some tapings, actually today, November 4th, the day that I'm recording this. However, Tully Blanchard won't be joining them. Instead, Vicky Guerrero is set to be their manager on the tour. There's also mention from Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio that FTR are in the works for a big match in AAA in December, facing the Lucha Bros and the team of Dragon Lee and Dralistico in a triple threat. That match should also feature Kenny Omega and Cain Velasquez wrestling in the main event, so it's already quite a big show. I'm sure FTR are super jazzed. They don't like wrestling without tag ropes, let alone wrestling in matches where just getting in and out of the ring counts as a legitimate tag. And that's all you need to know heading into Full Gear 2021. Are you excited for the show? Let us know in the comments, like and subscribe to this channel for more daily wrestling news videos, and press the videos on screen for more. I've been Luke Owen. Jam that jam.